Hey, this is Kevin from the warehouse, and I tell you, one of the coolest things about my job is I get to talk to other business owners about their businesses and really just effectively learn from them in terms of what they do, why they do it, and the differences that they make in terms of how they serve their customers. And so I have my friend here, Alan Miller, with me. He has a publication, a unique publication called Into, and I'm just going to have a brief conversation with him so that I can get you up to speed on just the ways that this might apply to your business or apply to anything that you would have in the area of marketing your business. So Alan, thanks for being here. This is huge.
Absolutely, good to be here.
Hey, I want to talk to you for a minute. You've been working with Into for a little while yet.
Right.
And one of the things that I noticed is it's an incredibly strategic local platform to be able to market. It's very unique. Tell us a little bit about it. It's a really exciting growth, high growth company. Tell us a little bit about Into and how you got involved in it.
Sure. Well, I've been a part of N2 for a little over a year, and it's really what caught my attention is the uniqueness of how they're building relationships along with marketing, to the residents. It's a very niche market to affluent neighborhoods that are normally hard to reach audience. Okay. And word of mouth and relationship is the priority for the residents that we work with.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is when you say niche, what you're talking about is a specific group of people, or is it, tell me a little bit about what that niche is.
So the niche it's a neighborhood. So here locally, we have some gated neighborhoods. So we got a Glenmore, we got a Hills and Dales. These are specific neighborhoods that are the residents that we market to. But the cool thing too, the content is written by the residents. So it really comes from people living in the neighborhoods that we do articles on, their kids and their pets and just neighborhood events, and we feature families and yards and homes and all the fun things from the neighborhood. Kind of whatever the residents want to write about, it really becomes their book, their publication. And then we help businesses connect with the residents through some opportunities through events and some things we do where we actually allow them to meet face to face with the people that might see their ad every day. And then we help them do through connections that way. And it's really unique on just helping them build that relationship and with residents.
Wow, you know what? And I think that word relationship is really powerful. I mean, when you really consider it, I can't think of anybody in business who would say that the relationship is not important. But we all understand that in business, the relationship is vital. And so what I'm hearing you say is you produce a publication, you have advertising in the publication. It's a very specific group of people in a very high-end kind of dynamic.
Yeah, sure.
And what it allows them to do is strategically connect with those people through events and other kinds of things that you do so that it heightens their ability to be able to connect even before a sale.
Right.
So in a sense, if I'm a business, my company's marketing experience with them comes really in their home.
Right.
In a sense, in that monthly magazine.
Absolutely.
And the cool part, and I think one of the neat visibles, and I love Invisibles, by the way, I think one of the neat visibles about this is the fact that when they write for each other in the neighborhood, it means it's a magazine or that's going to be read. That people are going to look at this.
Absolutely.
Wow. And that's one of those interesting things, because how many people buy magazines and don't read them? Yeah. And here, this is in the magazine they're not buying. It's a magazine that they're creating for each other to connect with each other in the neighborhood and really build relationships with each other with the opportunity for the businesses to connect with them, which would explain why Into is in Forbes' fastest growing companies in the United States, because this is national, is it not?
Right, yes. N2 is a national company, been in business for 11 years, started in 2004, based out of Wilmington, North Carolina, is our headquarters. Across the country, we work with 800 plus neighborhoods. Wow. We run a publication every month. It goes, comes to the residents. And again, you mentioned a little bit about community, and it's all about us helping build community through their publication. And that's actually our tagline: is turning neighborhoods into communities.
That's cool.
So helping with that, and then just by being able to write about each other and for each other, the readership is 100%. To this day, I haven't talked to one resident that said I don't read that every month. Wow. They all do. So The one thing I can assure most of the business that we work with is it's something that's going to be read and seen. And the number one goal for anybody that spends money advertising is that it gets seen, right?
Right.
And it's just, we know it gets seen. It's just a matter of building that trust and that relationship with potential clients, and that's what our goal is, to help the businesses build that as well.
That's huge. I love the tagline on your card, because it says it's not how many eyes, it's what eyes are looking at it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a huge part of marketing. And Alan, tell me if I'm wrong, but this whole idea of N2 is incredibly strategic, because it's not your typical passive marketing. Most people in the conventional wisdom world just kind of buy an ad and hope that people show up, and quite frankly, sometimes waste their time with a potential customer because they're not qualified.
Right.
But with N2, you're putting in front of people, building relationships with people, and they're already really, for the most part, qualified.
Yes.
And so if and when they do connect with you in terms of a product or a service, you're not wasting your time spinning your wheels on price or a few other things that are frustration for a lot of business owners, a lot of those that are my clients as well. Right. So I know that's a huge thing, is we constantly talk about how can we improve our qualifications process for our customers. And here's one powerful way to do that.
And that's, when we meet with businesses, not everybody's a good fit for what we do. If I'm sitting across the table from a business that's looking to generate a ton of phone calls and might be in the startup phase and they need a bunch of clients, or they just need their phone to ring, typically that's not a good fit for us.
Wow.
Really, if a business is looking for a few calls from the right people and built on their word of mouth and their relationship-based business, clients, really is when it's a good fit. So again, it's not that a new business can't be a good fit, but again, that's where we meet with all our businesses face to face, and we really want to help them reach the right audience and because that, again, that's the strategy behind it, is to reach the right people and not about reaching the broad people. Because again, broad-based advertising, it's passive. Once the money is spent, it's spent and it hits the masses. It's just, is it going to hit somebody that's looking for that service right then without having a relationship that basically becomes more price shopping than anything else, not based on having that relationship and that trust with a potential client. Where we really, we put things in our publication where, hey, these are local business that we trust and we recommend it. And I try to always, if there's a business that I would feel comfortable recommending to my friends and family, that's when I know it's a good fit.
That's cool. That's a great way to put that. And I think something you said is powerful, and I think this is probably one of the things that I would want to get across anybody who's listening, to our interview. It's the whole idea that with Alan and N2, that you get a strategic partner in marketing. It's not necessarily just a transactional type of thing, but in a sense, it's more transformational, because it's going to take you out of your comfort zone for you to bring and build those kinds of relationships, especially if we're used to the paradigm of just kind of sitting around waiting for people to show up. Right. And most businesses struggle with that tension between, am I an order taker or am I in sales? And most of the time we're in sales. We just really like to pretend or think that we have so much going on, it's order taking, but man, those are some really high highs and some really low lows. This gives you a very consistent approach that I think can be very powerful for your business. So I just, kind of in wrapping up, Alan, I think you did a great job of explaining just the basis of what this is. I always want to highlight things that I think that are great opportunities. If anybody wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that? I mean, what's the best way to get in touch with you, and what's the best way, so if they're watching the video and they're kind of going, hey, I think I might want to do this, what do they do? How do they get a hold of you?
Well, I mean, I talk to people on my cell phone. Anybody's allowed to call me anytime on my cell number, which is 330-763-1956. Email is just Allen, which is allen.miller@n2pub.com. And also our corporate, our website is www.n2pub.com. So that would be some ways to check us out and see, what we're about. As far as what every publication is private for their specific neighborhood. So we don't have the actual publications. there's some samples of, some PDF, online,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as an actual publication from a specific neighborhood, you will not find them unless you're a resident in that neighborhood or you're an advertising partner with us. That's really why it's exclusive, and that's why the residents participate, because we're not trying to be out to where everybody can see us. It's
exclusive.
Yeah, it's exclusive, and not many people have heard about us. Even though we've been in business for 11 years, every market is different, but most people I talk to haven't heard about us.
That's
because unless they're a resident, they don't get it.
That's cool because it's one of those. It's a powerful part about scarcity. When you create demand by having less, it gets more eyes on. I think Alan, if I were to meet with you, you probably could have one you could show.
Oh yeah, we'll have samples.
And that's huge. But I would say, man, getting with Alan is critical. I know we're going into December, and it's really important in December you think through some things. So you always want to be thinking about, hey, what do I need to clean up, right? What are the things I need to clean up? Hey, what are the things I need to set up to get prepared for 216, right? What are the things I need to follow up? And where do I need to level up? And and a lot of times those are skills. So this is an opportunity to do all four right here, going into December saying, hey, look, I need to strategically plan for 216 and look at teams, where our marketing is at and what we want to do strategically. Because the level of preparation always has to equal the level of what your goals are for that year. So in 216, if you want to have a high level of desire and a high level of command about where you want to go and what you want to do, Alan is a great guy to talk to when it comes to you marketing your business in light of that. And don't miss the opportunity to do that. Alan is a huge invisible. N2 is a huge invisible when it comes to making a difference in the marketing of your business in a very exclusive and focused way. Don't miss the opportunity to get really big by thinking small. So don't miss out on that. Thanks for being here. Alan, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
It's awesome.
And we'll see you next time on and now we've titled this is cool, the Invisible Edge Podcast. So, hey, we'll see you next time. Take care and have some fun. We'll get after it and we'll have a new guest for you to stare at for about 15 minutes. Take care, man. Bye.